I had been a bit adventurous as a young gal in middle school, but honestly, most of those relationships / hookups were with guys that were jerks and just took advantage of me for SCX. I don't regret the experience, but I do regret the people. Welcome back to They Did What, your source for the internet's craziest, most entertaining stories, where I go over them, analyze them, and most certainly make fun of them. Today, I'm going to go over a story titled, "My boyfriend broke up with me for merely asking about, not for, an open relationship." And guys, this story, it's about a gal. She's 26 years old, and she's not exactly very happy right now with her ex-boyfriend. You see, they've been together for a bit, and when they got together, he was a virgin, and she had a bit of a past, to put it mildly. They were night and day. They were completely opposites. And one day, after being together for a while, as she says here, she just brought up the subject of an open relationship. And he dumped her like that, right on the spot. And she's not very happy about it because, she couldn't explain herself and blah, blah, blah. And is obviously here posting this online looking for support and pity with this whole thing. And as I said, guys, you're going to see, as I go into the story, she was definitely adventurous when she was younger. You all can use your imagination on that. And in my opinion, this only proves the scientific study about the whole pair bonding thing. Lots of partners back in the day, so she has a hard time being with just one dude. And you're going to see here, she's going to make the case where she's doing this for him. Not for her, but for him. Right. So anyway, guys, that'll be a very entertaining one to go over. But again, here we are again, as I like to call it, Sodom and Gomorrah 2.0, where more and more gals think it's a great idea to propose open marriages, open relationships, because God forbid they're with just one man. God forbid just being in a committed relationship with a good guy. Oh, no. They want to have their cake and eat it too. The guy they can have is their man, their husband, their boyfriend, fiance, who's stable, who's there for them, who provides, ding, ding, ding. But also they can be free to go out and do what they want to do. Because nowadays you can't be a strong, empowered gal in 2022 unless you get free to have relations with as many dudes as you want in town. So I'm going to go through the story, guys, and then also read the comments at the end. Quite entertaining. So it starts off. She says, "Hi, everyone. I'm a 26-year-old female, and I'm dating a 24-year-old male. We've been together for about 2 years now and was looking forward to getting engaged. Well, I guess I effed that one up because my boyfriend broke up with me. Some backstory. I've been a bit promiscuous as a young gal in middle school. But honestly, most of those relationships / hookups were with guys that were jerks and just took advantage of me for SCX. I don't regret the experiences, but I do regret the people." So she had to make it abundantly clear that even though she did all those things in middle school, I might add, we all know the age ranges of middle school, well, she doesn't regret any of it, even though they were all jerks. Imagine that as twisted as it is, a middle school carousel writer, great parenting, mom and dad, hooking up with all the bad boys that were jerks left and right. Imagine that. I get the high school and college carousel, middle school. My boyfriend, on the other hand, was a virgin until senior year when we met. And she means senior year of college, not high school. Admittedly, I tried to sleep with him on the first date. There's a freaking surprise. And he said he wasn't into it because he was shy and hadn't lost his virginity yet, so we took it slow. He never asked about my past life at that point, and I never volunteered anything. Well, given that he was by choice a virgin by his senior year in college, if she had volunteered her past, he probably would have had a heart attack. They'd have to get the defibrillator out and start zapping him to wake him up. He wouldn't be able to handle it. And notice, by the way, senior year in college, she's older because she says she's 2 years older than him. What's happening now? She's finding herself a nice guy, because this is what happens. The carousel riding when they're young, and by the time they get to mid-20s, because at the time I guess she was 24 when she met him, okay, time to settle down, find my nice guy to get engaged to and get married, but hopefully I can convince him to let me keep having fun. As we started dating and opened up to him about my past, he was really accepting of it. But I could also tell he was extremely embarrassed and ashamed of his situation of being a virgin until late in college. Anyway, he assured me that he accepted me and that he loved all of me, even my past. There is no way in hell that she told him everything about her past. There is no way. No guy gets the whole picture. And some people may call BS on that, and I call BS back on that. No, he did not get the whole picture at all. Poor guy would have had a heart attack. Honestly, when I asked for an open relationship, it had nothing to do with his S-word performance or the size of his you-know-what. My thinking was, now listen to this rationalization for what she did. My thinking was that by opening things up, maybe he could have more experiences like I had, with other people, one-night stands, Tinder hookups, etc. And yeah, especially now that he wasn't a virgin anymore, and I taught him how to be a good sex partner. That would be something that he would appreciate and go for. Did you ever think that maybe he doesn't want that lifestyle? The fact that he was a virgin by his senior year in college by choice? Because believe me, unless he looked like the Elephant Man, he could find some girl to hook up with. So he was a virgin by choice. Do you really think he wants to go out and hook up with as many girls as he can all of a sudden? Bullshit. But she's already bored. Been with this dude for 2 years, so she needs a reason to hopefully allow her to start having some fun. That's what is going on here. I'm willing to bet all the money I have and all the money I ever make, that's what really is going on here. And usually when this is brought up, already there's a dude or dudes in the picture. If they're not already hooking up with one already, they're on standby. They're on deck to jump to that the second the guy gives the approval. And she knows it's a lot easier for her to get partners than him. So that's what usually happens in these stories. Now, watch what happens. She says, well, I guess, let me read this word for word. She says, well, I guess effing not cause. When I asked about it, I never even got to explain my reasoning behind it because he broke up with me before I could even get to it. How about that? She brings up this idea and boom, breaks up with her right on the spot. And that's what I encourage all you guys to do. Now, this story is 3 years old, I believe, when I glanced at the top of it. But this guy is a little bit ahead of his time. Because I recommend all guys, your gal brings up the whole open marriage, open relationship thing, it's over. She's already either hooking up with somebody else, or she already has guys in mind. And let me tell you, she's making this whole thing like I'm doing this for him. No woman that truly is in love with their guy wants another woman touching them. I mean, come on here. She's doing this for her, knowing darn well it's going to be a lot harder for him, or he might not go along with it. And her perception of him obviously is that he's probably a nice guy and weak, and he'll give in to me. Surprise! She says the conversation basically went like this. She says, so T, I was thinking, and like, we both want to take our relationship forward, right? Since we're still young and trying to experience all the good things in the world, I was thinking, and I just wanted to know if maybe, well, what are your thoughts on an open relationship? That's how she worded it. And like how she put the trying to experience all the good things in the world. Immediately, he started verbally abusing me and called me a worthless, lying SLUT. And all these other horrible things that men should never call a woman. Well, there are times when certain things are warranted. Equally, when a guy pushes things too far, it's warranted for a gal to call him such names. But notice she said verbally abusing me. Not yelling at me, had to use the abuse word. It's been 2 nights now since he decided to break up and block my number, but I'm still frustrated as F about the whole thing. Oh, poor you. You got called out in your BS. He kicked you to the curb like that. You expected him to go along with this, and now you're mad because you're not getting your way. What I mean by that is like this. I wish he would reconsider because, well, his anger may have definitely clouded his judgment about the whole thing. No, his anger didn't cloud his judgment. His judgment was accurate. This girl I'm with 2 years, all of a sudden she wants to go hook up with other dudes because, duh, that's the real reason why. Who has a past. I know she has a past. I don't know the whole thing about her past, but I know she has quite the adventurous past. She's obviously bored and trying to convince me to do this. Okay? And there's no way I'm going to marry someone that's like this. She obviously hasn't gotten over the fact, and she'll probably cheat on me if she doesn't get her way. Now, here's the best part of the whole story. Watch this. She finishes saying, I don't need an open relationship, and I'm not an SLUT. So please be nice. I just want the happiness and security that all women deserve. Let's break this down. I want the happiness and security that all women deserve. Does that mean the security is having a stable guy, husband, serious boyfriend, whatever, who can be there for her and listen to all her problems and go out to eat with her and be there in the house and paying for things? But also the happiness that all women deserve. Define happiness. Is that happiness the freedom to go hook up with any dude you want? Having the cake and eat it too situation? Security. Having that stable guy. And the happiness. The freedom to go hook up with as many Chad and Tyrones as you want. That's the ideal situation that she is talking about here. Not happening, honey. This guy saw through your bullshit, and he told you to take a hike, and that's that. And you notice here she said he blocked her and all that. Good for him. He's ahead of his time, because 3 years ago, this material wasn't out as much as it is now. So guys, moral of the story is, she brings it up, it's over. Move on. You don't need, unless you're both truly into that lifestyle, unless you both met in an environment where that lifestyle is frequent, promoted, whatever, and you're both into that. But if you're not, and your dude wants to be, and you want to be exclusive, and your girl brings this up, whoosh, goodbye. That's the end. Now, a few comments, because we always enjoy the comments. One guy says, no, your relationship is over. Regardless of your intentions, he has decided that you are not satisfied with him and triggered his insecurities and fear of being cheated on. He will never trust you, no matter what you say or do. Just accept that he was not the right person for you and move on. Exactly. Move on, leave this dude alone. And go ride the carousel, because that's what she's dying to do. Another guy says, by whose standards are you not an SLUT? Also, if sleeping around is good, then why do you think the word SLUT is bad? This begs a bigger question. Who defines SLUT? Is it the person themselves, the people they are trying to attract, or society? I think his thought pattern went something like this. If he was saving his virginity, which he probably wasn't, it sucks that he lost it to someone who cares so little for him that she wouldn't mind him sleeping with other people. Exactly. And the last one, which is the best one, a little long of a comment, but hits the nail on the head. One guy says, well, if you wanted the happiness and security you thought you deserved, you effed that up completely with this guy. You should never open your mouth about this in the first place. Well, her opening her mouth is what's gotten her into trouble probably her entire life since middle school. He continues, he knows about your past. The suggestion makes it seem like you're bored with him and long for your more sexually exciting youth. That's exactly what's going on. He knows it. He's not stupid. You made him feel like a worthless piece of crap, good enough to be your emotional tampon, but not good enough to be his partner. Yep. Remember the whole girls deserve security and happiness? Another one, he says, you are clearly not over your effing the bad boys phase. You want the safety and stability of your relationship, ding, 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 with your current boyfriend to negate all the BS that would come from effing the bad boys. An open relationship means both parties pursuing other S-word partners. Do you honestly think that he and we are naive enough to think that you wouldn't be doing the same? Or would you be sitting patiently at home while he went out to even the score, so to speak? Of course not. This is as much about you wanting to F other guys as for him to F other women. Maybe more so since you're the one proposing it. And this, and he's quoting her, I had a bit of a promiscuous past as a young gal in middle school. And he says middle school can mean either elementary school or junior high school. So you have been having ONS, Tinder hookups, etc. before you were old enough to drive. And he knows this, and you thought he'd be okay with you to propose a scenario in which his first thought would be you wanting to revisit this. Yeah, your relationship is finished. The cat isn't going back in the bag as much as you proclaim otherwise. All evidence points that you wanted to satisfy some need and him not. Exactly. It's all about her, had nothing to do with him, her trying to make him happy and have experiences and all that bullshit. And it backfired, and she's pissed about that. And that's hilarious. And these are things I like to come across and read. And thanks again to the dude that sent me this story here. Has the nail right on the head. It's nice to hear when these things backfire on these a-holes that take advantage of these good guys here. And again, it's not an accident that she started getting involved with this dude, because she was at that point in her life, like a lot of gals do, they're looking for that nice guy. So as I tell you guys that are in your mid-20s and up, and you know darn well the gals didn't give you a whole lot of attention growing up, and all of a sudden they are, be careful, because they may see you as the nice guy provider type, and they can put the charms on, rope on in, and then they know darn well you're going to propose to them within 6 months. Don't be that guy. Be careful. Watch out for that. You need to have, for you guys, mid-20s and up, your screening process, your vetting process has to be even better, more tight than ever before, and to make sure you're not being used and settled because you're the nice guy, okay? Just be careful. All right, guys, that is it for today. Be sure to comment down below. Let me know what you think about this. And, guys, you come across a really good story like me to share here and break down all that, be sure to email it to me, strongsuccessfulmale@gmail.com. Just give me some time, and I'll get to it when I get a chance. And be sure to like the video, share with your friends, and subscribe. And I'll catch you next time.